All right, we are live on X and YouTube. If y'all would, as you join over, please let me know if my audio is working. It wasn't working yesterday and ended up having to swap the platform that I was using. Let me make sure that it's working here. If I listen to myself, that it's coming through. All right, it does sound like it's working, so that should be good. So many good plays today. Hey, Shadow, what plays? Sounds good. Sounds good. Thanks, everyone who's here. Welcome in, everyone. We're going to get started in just a second here. Start pulling up a few different coins, see what we can take a look at. We'll also be doing our giveaway today later on in the stream. We're going to be giving away a total of $1,000. It'll be split between 4 people, so $250 each. And we will be doing that a little bit later, so welcome on in, everybody. Let's see what's trending on Deck Screener right now. ZB is a token that a few people zero byte. Let's see if that's still doing well. Take a look at that. I'll be talking about, in general, we'll be talking about the market and kind of what it's doing right now as well, what I'm kind of expecting out of some bigger coins as well as Solana, and kind of my overall general strategy. I have somewhat of a mixed strategy for my DLMMing. So we'll see what that looks like. It does look like this would be a decent entry for ZB. Let's check out the bubble maps here. And we'll go from here. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Thanks. Welcome in. I'll be checking out a few different questions. Feel free to, oh yeah, y'all can't see the screen. My bad. You can see it now. There it is. Welcome in, everybody. I'll check out a few different coins. Bubble map looks good on this. It looks like it just broke above some resistances, and so that's a good sign. We have a large chunk of our liquidity in Sol USDC right now, and so I'm needing to remove some positions here to open up some liquidity. All right. We're going to try this out. This is we're starting off with a lower cap volatile meme coin. So just know, like, you can copy trade me. That's not the goal of what I want you to do, but we are going to get into this one and see how it does. It is on a move up right now. So just know it could always break back down. It's always a risk, but we're going to try to get into this one if Jupiter will let me. For some reason, Jupiter has been struggling. I think it's just got so much attention and volume right now. Try to get into this before it moves too quickly. So we're going to be buying, we're selling some of our ALK because it's just, I don't think it's moving as quickly right now. Sometimes because I don't have a ton of liquidity, I need to sell some things. And so we're going to get some Solana and we're going to get some of the ZB token. And we're going to try to DLMM it. It looks like we got in at a good time because it is breaking up here. We'll wait to see if it's going to break above some of these ranges. Let me go ahead and get that pulled up. Hey, if you're just joining in, thanks so much for checking us out. We are live DLMMing today. We're going to be talking all sorts of different meme coins. We're going to be talking Sol USDC. We're going to talk about some basic stuff, some advanced stuff. We're going to talk about Magic Eden, some of the future airdrops coming up. We're going to talk about other DeFi products like Hawkfi. So there's going to be a lot of information, a lot of stuff going out today. So thank y'all so much for joining and buckle up. We'll be streaming for about an hour and a half. I started a little later than I wanted, but we'll stream for about an hour and a half. And we'll do the giveaway as well that we are trying to share some of the generosity we got from Magic Eden. We'll be sharing some of that a little bit later. So let's take a look. We are DLMMing me. We'll get back to that in just a little bit. This is the ZB pool that we're looking at. A lot of times with these tokens, I'm not looking to like hold them long term. This is a low cap meme coin. It's got a high amount of volume. And so for me, I'm just going to look to get in, earn some fees, and then get out. I don't want to stay in this a super long time. If it ends up doing really well and like pumps up a lot, then we'll just, the pool will end up being closed out as it moves up anyway. And so we'll look at that. Current price looks good. We're going to set up a two-sided pool spot here. We're going to add liquidity. This is a 100 bin, 2% pool, which on a meme coin at this level is fairly tight. You can see the price range here is about 28% down and 40% up. Again, the goal here with how it's been moving and with the current state of the volume is that we want to just try to capture the fees from a lot of the volatility and the volume here. And then hopefully we'll find a good point in which it breaks up out of the range that we're drawing here. And then we'll close out of it. So we're going to continue to watch it. We got in about here. Let me draw a little line where we got in at. That's where we got in. Can I change the color of this? Yeah, boom. So that's our entry there. I would like to have gotten in a little lower as it broke above this resistance here, like right around there, but I saw it a little late. And so this is going to work for what we're trying to do here. And so we'll keep watching that one. Bully moved up pretty well. I'm waiting to see if there's going to be a bigger dip than this. And we might get into Bully. Let's look. Yeah, the 1 hour volume is not too bad. We've DLM'd this in the past. It's been kind of chilling around 100K for a while. And then, 100 mil. And then recently just moved up some. And so I don't want to buy in when it's way up here unless I think it's going to end up bouncing back up again. So we'll continue to watch it. I'd like to see it break down into one of these ranges here before coming back up, and then I'll feel more confident getting into that one. So we are on ZB. I haven't done a ton of research on this, but I did check out the bubble maps. We looked at some of the audit stuff. We've had a few people DLMMing this. The volume looks really good. We can click on the Twitter here. Let's take a look and see what's going on. So this is an AI play here. ZeroByte is a new AI agent created in PF. It understands everything you say. This is their token. The ZB of $15,000 is locked. And so they locked that here, which is pretty good. Love to see that. 33 million locked. So that's a positive sign. Next stop, 5 million. Hold on tight. Fasten your seatbelts. They're getting a good amount of engagement on Twitter. So this looks like it could be a good one. I think the overall image is kind of like crazy AI looking. They have some cool videos here. They getting some engagement. They've clearly shown that they're willing to lock up a bunch of the tokens, and they have the Sol Scan address here. So those are all really, really good signs that we think that this token isn't just going to dump right now. Obviously, it still could, but overall, really good signs, and it's got really, really good volume. So this is a good one for us to hop into, which is why we are in it. You can see it's doing a little over 500% right now. That number will adjust, probably go down a little bit as it continues to move. We are in 100 bin at 2%. So if this thing ends up going, it's at like 2.4 mil, 2.3 mil right now. If this ends up going to like 3.5 or 4, we'll end up getting out of range. Based on the previous data of where it's been ranging at, it makes me think that it'll probably continue to range around here. But obviously, if it ends up going up, we won't earn a ton in fees, but we still will make money off the value of it going up. And so this is one that I feel, again, is still high risk. This isn't like a safe play, but I do feel fairly comfortable based on all the stuff that I've seen to be able to DLMM it So we'll keep doing that. All right. Up to 350 people live. Thank y'all so much for coming in and checking us out. We'll be live DLMMing like this. We do it on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays every single week, sometimes on Fridays as well. And we talk about all things DLMMing, DeFi products, and state of the market in general, which we'll be talking more about. I don't normally do a bunch of giveaways. That's not kind of my thing. But with Magic Eden Drop, I do want to spread the love and the wealth a little bit. And so I will be giving away on stream $1,000 split between 4 people. Yesterday, I gave it away to 1 person, but 4 people for $250 each. So we'll be doing that a little bit later in the stream, potentially 30 minutes to an hour from now. You will need to be on the stream and have liked the previous tweet that I put out, which is my giveaway tweet. Let's see, where is it? I've put out a lot of stuff since then. This one. You can go check it out on the page. It was the announcement for Me Day, my giveaway based on the numbers hit, which everything was hit. So we'll be giving all this away. And so you just have to like and follow this, and then you could be entered in the giveaway. I'll do a Twitter picker live on stream. ZB does look like it's doing pretty well. We want to continue to watch the 5-minute and the 1-hour volume. We can also see it down here and get an idea of, is the volume dropping too much? Obviously, it's going to adjust and change. This was just 50. Now it's close to 100K. We'd like to see it around those ranges. And we want to see the 1 hour at 1 million or higher. If it starts dropping too low below 1 million, then we'll look at kind of what's going on and what it's doing. It does look like it's bouncing off of this line here. And so we'll just continue to hold and see where it's at. This is kind of the bottom of our range that we'll DLMMing for. If it ends up dropping below here, then we will close out of it and just take the loss. If it continues to range here, though, we'd be happy and just continue to earn fees. All right. Let me see if there's any other coins that we need to be in. I don't want to miss out on any opportunities here. If anybody has any coins they want me to check out, please let me know. All right, let's start answering some questions. I'm going to scroll all the way up to the top here because I'm not sure if I missed any. Harry, welcome in. Big up, quick DLMM session before flight to Australia. Very cool. Harry, where do you live? If you're flying to Australia, like where are you visiting there, or do you live in Australia? Less giveaways, please. I won't be able to ask DLMM questions. Yeah, we're just doing these giveaways for Magic Eden. This is not normally something that I do like all the time. Can you check mana? Yes, I can check mana. That's the first one I saw pulled up here. I actually think I saw someone post the CA on mana in the Discord. Maybe not. Someone posted something else. Oh, there it is. Yeah. That way I can pull up the CA directly. Still watching ZB here. We'll look for it to kind of create some new supports potentially up here, break off and come back up, or even come down to one of these lower ranges there. Oof. Mana looks like it's pretty far down right now. Yeah, so I can watch mana. It does look like it has really good volume. The problem is that it's in a pretty large downtrend. And so it is bouncing off of this over here. I'd like to see it break above this right here and create some higher highs and higher lows. As you can see here, it's in a downtrend. It's got lower lows and lower highs than previous ones. So I want to see it start to break up here and then make it above this line here, or even a little higher, and start to work back up. And then I might get back into it. For now, we will wait, but that might be one that we look at. So continuing on ZB still, volume still looking good, chart still looking good. So that's nice there. Let's see. Yeah, so mana we're just going to wait on. Let's continue to look at some more questions here. Good morning. Good morning. PNet. Yeah, I can check out PNet. I think someone posted that one in the Discord as well. Let me see. I like to grab the CA if possible. That way I'm not just looking up the coin just in case like there's some ones that aren't that are fake. PNet's already at a pretty decent market cap. We're at 14.7 mil on it. The 1 hour and the 5 minute volume looks good. It's actually in a swing back up after dipping down to 1.2 from 1.2 from 12 mil to down from almost 20. Let's see, previous history. It's in a pretty strong upswing here. Yeah, it might be a good time to get in. I think we'd want to see it break, like do somewhat of a dip before we get back in. Or not back in, before we get in at all. Because it's down a pretty good amount. But let's see what it continues to do. Like, see how it comes, it's moving up, but it has some little dips. You can wait for it to dip and then potentially get back in. This is the large resistance that it needs to break above to feel real confident, but it's also at 17 mil and it's at 15 now. So, because it could bounce back off of this. So if we get in here, it's kind of a good middle range for it. So it wouldn't be bad. So let's see how much it dips here. We'll keep looking at it, but the volume and stuff like that looks good. Let's check out their Twitter. Up to over 500 people viewing. Thank y'all so much for being here. I do stream every single week, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Feel free to ask questions about different coins you want me to look at, about DLMM questions, other DeFi questions, anything like that. We'll continue to be here for about another hour and 20 minutes. We'll also be doing a giveaway today, which isn't what we normally do, but we wanted to share some of the wealth from Magic Eden. So we'll be giving away $250 to 4 people, $1,000. So. All right, this is PNet, Principles Network. All this AI stuff is crazy, dude. They have a lot of followers. Some people that I follow them. They have good engagement overall. So those are all good signs for PNet. There's just so many like AI coins and AI stuff coming out that like it's so hard to filter through. You know, I mean, so we'll continue to watch these. There's some big ones that I'm on, like Alchemy. I really like Alch. Obviously, AI16Z is a big one that's doing pretty well. You have a few different other ones. So it's hard to like just continue to get into these. But I think for the most part, like I'm not, just because we're DLMMing one of these coins doesn't mean that we're expecting it to do amazing long term. We're just looking at the current data, how much volume it's doing. It looks like it's trying to be a legit project overall, you know, so it's a slightly safer play than just some random low cap coin that's ripping. And so those are all things that we look at. And so overall, these look like, you know, decent plays to get into. Just watching PNet here as well. Let me swap over to my 100K challenge wallet here. I think I'm just DLMMing Magic Eden, which has been lingering around a little bit. I think we're on the slight downside of it, but we've earned decent fees over the last like 10 hours that we've had it up. Yeah, we're doing okay on it. 1772. I'm probably going to close out of this because a lot of my liquidity is in this. I ran it overnight. I do like me and DLMMing it. I mean, if I can get 2 or 3 or 4% a day off of it, which you can get even more when the volume picks up, it kind of has these spikes like it did here when it moved up, different spikes of volume, then it's good. But the volume on Magic Eden is just so low right now. So we'll go ahead and move off of that one for now. We're going to move it into one of these other kind of AI coins. I'm trying to decide if I want to do PNet or ZB. There's slightly more upside to ZB, but there's also, it's so low cap that it may be a little more risky. So let's see here. Just watching some of the volume numbers on these. I'm going to get into both of them probably on my main account. I think that PNet, considering that it's more of a closer to a mid-cap coin, I feel a little safer on my 100K challenge wallet to do that. So we're going to swap the me to, not all of it, but we're going to swap part of it. to PNet. I think I can do a little more than that. I know it's going to be too much, I think. Yeah, let's do like 160. Yeah, that should be good. And then I'll swap the rest of it to Solana, and we're going to set up a PNet pool. I think that it's probably slightly safer play. We can see that ZB is dipping down a little bit. So this is the range in which I'm looking. I'm going to want it to bounce off of this and come back up. If it comes down here and it just breaks below this, I might let it go to this one, because these are kind of like when two supports or two resistances are close together. Sometimes I'll kind of count them as the same. So I'll let it come down to here potentially. But if it breaks below that anymore, then we're going to get out. Now, it may break back up at some point, but I like to have a stop loss set on coins like this. And so if it ends up going below that, and when I say below it, I don't mean that like it wicks below it. I mean that it would need to actually close out a candle below it for me to then say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get out of it. And so we'll continue to watch that one. Let's see. Did this go through? It did. Perfect. And then we're going to swap it to Solana as well. We'll double check and make sure we have the right amounts for these. Yeah, we're going to continue watching that. We should have a little bit more SOL than we do PNet. It's actually, once this swap, it's still showing the Magic Eden. Okay. That's right there. So we'll go here. We're going to set up a pool on PNet. This is a mid cap. I'm going to end up doing the 100 bin. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do this 100 bin 2%. It's got a lot of money in it. It's doing really well. So I like this one. We'll do an autofill right here. I think it's 4.2 SOL. We should have enough there. We have like 5 maybe. We have 4.8. Perfect. It doesn't know that we have that much, so I'm going to refresh it. There it goes. And we'll add the liquidity. And I'll answer some more questions in just a moment. Obviously, I just need to get through this and get it set up. We're actually going to move off of this wallet back to our other wallet. We'll keep watching PNet, so if we need to swap back here, we can. We're going to go to our larger wallet here. How much we have? We have 30 SOL, about 7,100 that we can play with right now. So you can see here that ZB did bounce off of this range here, which is the one that I wanted it to bounce off of, and is coming back up. We'll see if it ends up breaking back down or if it looks like it's going to continue to move back up there. When we look at our portfolio, you'll be able to see for the 100 bin that we're still well within range. Let me pull it up and show it to you. If I can get it to work. ZB. You can see here we're earning about 500% right now. It had to catch back up there, which is really, really good. So, I mean, on $5,400, we've already earned almost $300 in fees. And so, obviously, it dipped way down. It came just a little bit below this, about right here, which is where we would have closed out if it dropped below that. And then it started to make its way back up. And so, obviously, like, if it just ranges between here, that's, like, ideal for us. We'll earn a lot of fees. Like, that's a really, really good thing. At some point, if it breaks down below, again, we'll take this is our stop loss. And so we like to be very strict on that to make sure that we maintain our portfolio. And if it ends up breaking back above this line, that's a good sign. We'll let it ride up for a while and then potentially just keep holding it as it DLMMs. Or at some point we'll close it out and sell it depending on what it does. So we'll continue to watch that. Watching Bully as well, watching ALK. Mana does look like it's breaking back up, which is good. We're wanting it to come back above this line here and continue to move up. And so it does look like it's in a sideways trend. So that's a good sign. So we'll keep watching that and might get into that as well. PNet, where we got in at, is where we got in. We waited for this little dip right here to happen. And so we got in at that line there. And so it's doing well. It's either going to test off of this resistance and come back down, or it's going to break through that. So we'll be looking to see which one it does. This is kind of what I call the mid-range line. And so based on the previous supports, the small one that it made here, and then based on this one back here, this resistance, we're kind of looking at it to range in here or to break out and range a little higher. So we'll continue to watch that one as well. ZB does look like it's continuing to fight, trying to fight back. So we'll keep watching that. ZB is doing well. You can see here, once it updates, we're at $300 in fees on $5,400 in, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, maybe not even that. I don't know how long we've had it up for, but doing really, really well. So we're watching all these. We'll continue to watch them. I'll go ahead and get some more questions, see what we can find here. Thanks for telling me, Eugene, about PNET. I checked that one out and it turned out to be really good. We're over 660 viewers now. Thank y'all so much for being here. If you haven't seen my streams before, we do a lot of different DeFi stuff, but our main focus is DLMMing on Meteora. We also will feature Hawkfi a little bit because it's, I think, a good solution for a lot of people who aren't as active. And we stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Let's see. First stream. Hey, Loves, thanks for being here. I'm hoping to learn about DLMM and where to begin to earn points. So this is one great thing. Whenever you're on Meteora and you're earning these fees right here, these fees count towards your volume, which will be used for earning points when they do their MET airdrop. And so we just saw Magic Eden do a huge airdrop. We've seen other DeFi protocols do big airdrops. You can make a good little chunk of money off of that. I wouldn't compare yourself to what other people are earning. Just do the best you can with what you have. If you're making money on the platform, that's already a win. And then if you're also able to earn fees, that's also really big as well. So yeah, farming the MET airdrop, which is really cool. Hey, CL Morgan, thanks for being here. It looks like Bind Soul dropped me a CA to look at. I can't copy it there. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Hey, if you could repost that CA, Bind Soul, I can't copy it there. I have it pulled up on Twitter now to where I can copy it, but my Twitter is only going to show the chat for here on out. I'm on a different streaming platform that streams to Twitter, so or to X, so I can't copy it. What times of the day is most important to be active for DLMM? So I think the hottest times are right now from about an hour ago. So that's 11 a.m. EST or 4 p.m. UTC/GMT. That's when it starts. You get about an hour to 2 hours of like pretty good volume. It then will slow down a little bit. And then in the afternoon, my time, which is 3 p.m. EST, sometimes 4 p.m. UST, 4 p.m. EST, which is 10 p.m. UTC, I think it picks up. And then the last time is later at night, which would be like 9, 10 p.m. EST for about an hour or 2 hours, which is like 4 or 3 a.m. UTC. Sorry, there's people from all over the world, so I try to make sure that I hit all the times right. I've learned like all the conversions on time zones, just from having to communicate this. G Luigi. I saw that the other day. It feels like it's just kind of like an alt off the Luigi coin, right? But it looked like it was doing decent last time that I had looked at it. Let's take a look and see. Yeah, it's still at just 1.1 million market cap. It's kind of been ranging sideways, right? We're still watching ZB here. It came up and then is breaking back down again. We'll look for it to bounce off of one of these and come back up again. The volume still looks pretty good on it, so that's a good sign. We'll continue to watch and see if it stays that way. PNET as well. It did look like it came up and bounced off this support here. So we're kind of got in right here near the middle of the range. So we'll look for it to come down and bounce off of one of these. Or the lowest one would be down here. So can you do it? Yeah, G Luigi just doesn't have enough volume right now, and it's somewhat in a down trickle, so that wouldn't be one that I would look at to DLMM. ARC did really well. I made a bunch of money on ARC yesterday, and I could have made even more if I would have continued to DLMM it or continue to hold it, because I know it went all the way up to like almost 50 mil, right? It was like 47 or 48 mil. Let's see. No, it went above 50, 55 mil. Yeah. Unfortunately, last night, I canceled everything and was really locked in for the day, but it was also my sister's birthday. So we went out for dinner last night and there was a lot of stuff that I missed, including ARC. I did get into it and made some money off of it, but I wasn't able to be as active as I would have liked. And then, of course, this morning, it just skyrocketed. So it isn't a downtrend right now. So it's not one that I'd want to get into right now. I'd want to see it start to work its way back up into an uptrend. It does look like it's testing here, but I wouldn't be surprised if it came all the way down to this one, because this is like a small support. This is a more significant one. I wouldn't be surprised if it came down all the way to like one of these two supports before coming back up. But if it does start coming back up sooner, then we'll continue to watch it and see. But as of right now, it's not one we want to follow. Mana did break above the line that I was interested in seeing it break above. The market cap on it is a mid cap, which is really, really good. So let's see about maybe getting into Mana some. We only have 30 SOL worth of liquidity left. I'm kind of limiting myself on some of the options for meme coins, but we're going to do 13 SOL. We'll do 12 SOL of Mana. And we're going to do a DLMM on this one as well. So we got multiple things kind of cooking this morning. We'll continue to watch ZB, PNet, a few different ones. And we're going to try to get into Mana right now also. Move Mana down into our active ones here. Yeah, Jupiter has been struggling for me, man. I've been using Radium just because even though I don't like Radium as much, it has been going through, which is the most important thing. I think just Jupiter with using a lot of the same RPCs probably for Meteora and stuff, as well as everything else they do, that it's just clogged right now. Okay, there it went. It went through. Wait, it couldn't have gone through on both of them. But both of them said the swap was confirmed. Oh, it could have gone through, actually. I think I ended up buying double. But no, it looks like it just went through on one of them, but it said it went through on both. I'm not sure how that happened. All right, let's check out Mana. I'm going to continue to answer questions in just a moment. Just trying to get into this. So let's see here. It's a mid-cap coin. I like the 100 bin 1% based on the fees, how much money and volume is flowing through it right now. And the fact that I don't need a super wide range on it. I'm going to do the 100 bin. Of course, if it does decide to rip up or something, then that's where it'll be. So it looks like it's at a good spot now. It's going into a dip, so that's a good time to get in. And we'll look for it to bounce back up. Did it end up swapping too much? I think my Phantom Wallet just didn't update it. Yeah, I did. I need to sell this back. So that we can actually set up a pool. I was trying to swap it. Jupiter was taking forever, so I swapped it on Radium, and they ended up both going through at the same time. So we'll refresh this. There we go. Bam, bam. All right, we'll do this. This will be good. So we're getting into Mana as well. We want to try to grab these on the uptrend. Usually it's a good, depending on where it's at, it's usually good to wait for it to break above a certain point like it did on this one, and then start to dip back down and then get in, because most of the time they don't just continue going up. They kind of come up, go down, up and down. And so catching it and on one of the dips is good. There's a lot of red action here, so I wouldn't be surprised if this dipped even lower, but we'll continue to see what it does there. PNet's good. Want to see it break back up here. ZB as well is testing these resistance lines, which you can see are here. And so if this does break down below here, then we'll end up getting out of it. Again, we have been earning really, really good fees, but overall we'd be okay. If it broke down below, we'll just take our loss and move on. We try to have a really good stop loss and take profit marks. And we try to stick to them, so that way our losses are minimalized, and we try to make more off of the big wins. So we'll continue to watch these, and we'll look to get out on an upswing. And so, yeah, we'll continue to watch those. And that one, okay. Let's answer some more questions. Nobis Blue, this is my first time here. You're bullish. Hey, thanks. I appreciate you for being here, and hopefully you can learn something as we continue to grow and learn together. Can't wait to learn. Patricia, hey, thanks. Glad you're here. How come it looks like even on both sides, yet allow for 40% upside and only 28% downside? It just depends. Whenever it does the auto, it almost always does less on the downside. It's usually depending on where the liquidity is placed in the pool. So like if I go to add liquidity here, you can see like where the liquidity is placed is different. But a lot of times as well, just the way that it's split. If you look at, I can look at it this way. So you see here, the mana token, even though this is like shown as a spot, meaning that it's equivalent all the way across, if you look, each pool, the mana actually goes down. And the reason why is because it's going to be this amount of mana, this 3,500. If the price moves all the way up to here, this 3,500 will be worth the same as this 5,000 is here. And so it is technically split evenly across its like USD value, but it's scaling down because as the price goes up, less is worth more, right? And so as it goes up, that's why it looks like this. And so you end up needing to put more on the high side and less on the low side because as you can see here, like Sol stays the same here. And so that's part of why it does that. Obviously, that's just the auto balance. I could easily just add it and I could actually add it perfectly 50-50 if I wanted it to. But I'm happy with the auto one that it does. So we're earning over 70% right now on mana, so that's really good. Let's check out some of these other ones. It looks like ZB did start to bounce back up, so that's a good sign. PNet's coming down, testing these ranges. We're happy and comfortable with inside these ranges that we've drawn. And so as long as they don't break below those, then we're good and we're going to continue to hold. I'm interested to see where, because this is such a big move up, it broke above the previous highs here after moving up. So I'm interested to see if it just continues to move up here after a small dip or if it comes down a little bit more. We got in a little bit higher on this one because it broke up so quick. We kind of missed it, but we did get in about right here. Somewhere around there. I don't remember exactly, to be honest. But we'll continue to watch it and see as well. So all three of these doing fairly well. We're watching Bully break back down, which is kind of what I was expecting after it hit its all-time high, which is, or not all-time high, but it's a local high here. And so I'll be looking for it to bounce as well and come back up. But the volume on it's pretty good. So if that continues and it continues to move back up, then we might get back into it. Same thing here without looking for it to bounce. Magic Eden as well. Magic Eden, the volume's a lot lower right now, but I noticed that it kind of trickles around a little bit, just like it did the yesterday, and then it ended up slowly picking up, and then we saw some really big volume. So we'll look to get back into Magic Eden if the chart's looking pretty good. We'll just have to continue to watch and see. Well, let's see here. PNet, mana. And ZB, which is coming back up. What we want to see right now, ZB is in a downtrend. And so you can see that even though these aren't a significant difference, you can see that this low or this low is lower than this one, right? And you can see this high is slightly lower than this one. So what we really want to see is if that continues, then it'll end up probably breaking down below here at some point and we would get out. So what we want to see is either for it to just stay sideways here, and then eventually we want to see it break out, or we want to see it just at some point before it goes sideways, continue to break back up and trend higher. So we'll keep watching that. But either way, we're earning really, really good right now. You can see we do still have our me pull up, which is, let's see how much it's earning here. It's earning 4% right now. It is on the lower side because of where we entered at. You can see here, we actually set it up to have more money on the lower side than on the upside because I thought that it was going to dip down a lot. And so instead of creating a one-sided pool, what I did was I just created a two-side with more money in the lower end than the higher end because I thought it would dip, which is good because I'm earning good fees. And then as it pumps back up, which I'm expecting it to at some point, we'll continue to earn fees on the way back up as well. And so we'll just continue to DLMM that. If it drops too low, we'll close out and we'll be fine with it. But that's kind of what we're looking at on Magic Eden. Also, if I just want to pull it out to get liquidity because there's something that's pumping and doing really well, then I might get into it in that regard as well. So mana is earning about 83%. We'll see that start to average out a little bit better as it goes, but earning pretty good off of that. So let's see here. Queen. Okay, we'll check it out. Just so y'all know, like when we're looking at DLMMing, right? I'm not looking at trading. So if we look at stuff and it doesn't have any volume, I'll just immediately move off of it because if it doesn't have volume, then it's not worth it. So we'll see this one. Yeah, so this one just doesn't have enough volume. It may be good to trade. I have no idea. I haven't done any research on it. But it's one that I wouldn't get into because it's not a good DLMM one. It's too low a volume, which is kind of the big thing, the first check that I do. You aped ZB with me, but on a 255%. Cool, man. Let's hope it does well. 3 bots will win first. No, we'll make sure no bots win. We'll have to make sure it's a real person that's live on stream. I checked Mana and Peanut, Arc. Oh, yeah, Luigi. We can check back on Luigi. I think Luigi's volume was a little lower, even though the coin itself did pretty good. Let's see if it's trending at all. Yep, there it is. Yeah, to dip down, it's at 27 mil right now. Let me look on my... Let's see. Okay, cool. Just checking something on my Vector app. These lines, I had drawn them from the other day when it was lower. Let's see if it tests there. Or there. So you can see the volume on Luigi is still pretty good. It's actually not too bad. As it moves up in market cap, I'd like to see the volume pick up a little bit, but it's still not too bad. You can still earn decent off of this volume. 1 million on the 1 hour volume. I think that that's okay, probably up to like 50 mil, 60 mil, anything that's like really high cap. That may not be the best unless it just doesn't have a lot of competition in the pools, in which it could be good. But Luigi is in a downward trend, so we'll look for it to break back up as well before we get into it, breaking above some lines like that one maybe, or maybe a little sooner. But yeah, Lily. All right, let's take a look at Lily. I don't know why I put the $sign in front of it. This one. None of these have a good market cap. Too low market. Anything that's below like 2 million, I just won't touch. And even then, unless it's like a really strong, or it was at like 2.5 or 3, and it's just in a dip, but coming back up, then I might look at it. But for the most part, if it's like under 1 million, I'm not going to. Jail maintaining a good range. Yeah, let's take a look at jail. We DLMM'd and had jail the other day. I know it had dipped back down, but let's see how well it's doing. How do you feel about the price of MET points on whale markets? Hugo, what is the price? I haven't even looked yet. What is the current price of MET? Yeah, so it's come down a lot. Jail has. You can see, like, I was drawing lines way up at like 25 mil on it. So it's definitely near a bottom range here. Yeah, there's a lot of like multiple kind of resistance lines here. So I'd want it to break back above the 10 mil mark and show an upward trend here before I'd want to get into jail. We'll bump it to the back of the line to continue to watch. Bully's still dipping down a little bit. ARC looks like it found a support on this line here and is breaking back up. So we'll look for it to come back above this one and then potentially get into ARC. If the volume's looking good, which the volume's looking really good on ARC, so that'll be one we'll look at a little bit more. ZB still doing good. You can see it's starting to now create an uptrend. You can see higher highs and higher lows than before, so that's a really good sign. If you were looking to get into ZB, this is where, well, it hasn't broken above it yet, but if it breaks above this, meaning it closes out a candle above that line, and not at the line, but actually above the line, then that would be a good sign it's going to continue to move up. If it doesn't and it closes out here, then it might end up coming back down. So we'll see what it does. We'll look for it. Like if it ends here or anywhere close to this line, then it's still testing it. We'll look for it to actually break out above. We already own this. We got in around here. So we'll look for it to come all the way back up and hopefully break out of its all-time high. Peanuts come back down, bounced off like this little support here, I guess, which will move that line up some. And this is where we got in at. So we'll continue to watch it moving as well. Mana did come down and bounced off of here. It's not super strong, and the volume on it has died down a lot just within the last minute or two. It's normal to have spikes like that. Like you can see over here, the volume died down before it broke back up all around. So it's okay if there's a short amount of volume here, but we will look for the volume and to pick back up here. So we'll continue to see what that does. And we'll continue to watch Luigi. I'm going to move Luigi back behind Arc because Arc's making a pretty big move up here. We will want it to move up more, but before we get into it and see it have some resistance before coming back up. All right. If you're not doing strictly Sol, check Tryon out. No, I am doing strictly Sol. I'm a Solana Maxi, as they call it. I don't mess around on other chains. I specifically trade and do everything on Solana because I believe it's the fastest, cheapest, best chain out there, which is why I chose to be on it. Graphane was one that I DLMM'd the other day and was doing really well. It was, moved up and down nicely through the range. It's spelled like this, right? Yeah, test Graphane is the one that's doing well. Just the test token became the token. Yeah, you can see I had drawn some lines the other day and it come back down, which is why we got out of it. But it does look to be moving up here. It's kind of in a sideways trend right now, though. So I'd want to see it kind of move up a little bit. It's not in a bad spot. I just let's see if it comes down and bounces off of here and moves back up. And then we'll look to maybe get on it. So we'll watch it. There's actually a lot of coins doing really well today. So we're going to continue to add this to our watch list. I'm going to click. I have a lot of tabs. So I'm going to click off Bully and off of Jail because those are two I think that I probably won't continue to watch for now. There's just so many of them. I'll continue to watch Luigi, Graphane, Arc, ZB. Obviously, we're in. It does look like it broke above here. So it's more significantly, it's more likely to continue to go up from here. Again, that doesn't mean that it will, but it's more likely. So if I was looking at this, this is where I would get in at. Again, I'm not telling you to do that. I never give financial advice. Everything I do is for education and entertainment purposes only. If you copy trade me, just know that you are fully liable for your decisions. I do not do this to try to make you a short amount of money. I try to teach you how I do it, my mindset, why I do it. Hopefully y'all can learn something from me, and then you can do this when you don't even need to watch me, right? If you continue to just do what I do and watch, one day I may not be doing this, and then you won't know how to do it. So learn for yourselves, learn and grow, so that way you can adapt it to different situations and other DeFi protocols in the future. S17 Nasir, hello. He wants me to check out Bongo. Let's check out Bongo. The fact that there's this many coins y'all want me to check out, that's a good sign for the market. I think with Magic Eden doing well, there's a lot of, look, I'm typing in me. There's a lot of liquidity injected into the market. And so I think it's normal to see this happen. I don't know if this is what you would want me to look at. If you have a CA for it, let me know. This is not a good coin. It just isn't a high market cap, doesn't have any volume overall. Get your free printer once Gen 2 comes out. What about Binary? Let's check out Binary. If you haven't already, you can check out the Fee Printers Discord. I'm not affiliated, or I'm not the owner of it and not affiliated with anything NFT related, but I do love that it's a free server. We share a lot of information. It's a really cool server, a big community that's growing, super, super active. And so if you haven't already, you can go check it out. You can ask questions and learn a lot of stuff there, see what people are talking about. I really enjoy being there. So Binary is at 8.7. Binary's been chilling like just below 10 for a while, I think, like bouncing between like 7 and 10. The volume on it is just way too low. Initially, we had done some DLMMing with it. Oh, yeah, it broke down all the way to like 5 and 6 mil. Yeah, the volume on it's just way too low to DLMM. Arc, we're already looking at Arc. Noticed you follow DeFi Dungeons. They just posted something. I'll check that out another time. All I can say, listen and learn. I was totally new in DLMMing, but Token Guy and other people who explain it this make it look so easy. Hey, thanks, man. It's definitely not super easy. It's just over time I've learned to kind of read the charts and stuff, and I definitely have losses as well. There's definitely not always wins for sure. If you've watched my streams, you've seen me take losses before, but the goal is to take more wins than losses and to diminish or minimize your losses and to maximize your wins. If you can continue to do that, you continue to make pretty good money. Buy yours now. Nice. Can you go through again how you pick a pool to LP? What do you want to see when you look at? So Night Owl, I continually am doing that. So hopefully you can tell me if you've learned enough from that. But I'm continually looking at different coins. You can hear me talk about how and why I'm doing what I'm doing. ZB is doing really well. It looks like ZB, like I said here, once it broke above this, it looked like it was going to continue up. The next test is right here. And so it might break back down here, or it could continue to go back up. We want to take a look at ZB here and see, we don't have a ton of room on the top side because we did a 100 bin. We're capitalizing on a lot of the fees that are happening here, which you can see we're earning over 3% on this $6,000, which was like 5,500 when we got into it, I think, or maybe 5,700. We've already earned almost $600 in fees, which is insane. We still actually have a decent amount of room on the top side because of where we got in right here. It does look like it's trying to break out, but we'll want to see this candle close above this line. So you can see this candle closed at the line. This candle looks like it's above it, but you could have a lot of sell action and then it could close down here. So it's still testing this. We want to wait for the candle to close above this line, which would signal that it's going to be breaking out into new highs. So we'll continue to watch that. ARC is continuing to fight up, so we'll keep watching that. Graphane, we're waiting for it to dip and then come back up. So that one may be a little longer. And then same with Luigi here. We'll wait for it to dip. If it goes below this, I'll just close out of this and not even watch it anymore because it's going to be too low. But if it bounces up, we'll continue to watch that as well. PNet's doing decent, but we would like to see it pick up a little bit. The volume has died down some. Still doing okay, but we want to see this volume start to pick back up. And we want to see this price come back up. If the volume doesn't, but the price starts to move back up, then we'll probably just close out and rotate it into something else. We need volume. Volume means higher fees. You earn more fees. And that's good because you're risking DLMMing a meme coin. And anytime any of these coins could dump, somebody who owns a bunch of it could decide they want to get out of it. And you can end up losing a decent amount of money. And so for me, DLMMing these, I need a high fee earning, just like ZB here, right? You can see I'm earning a decent amount of fees so that even if the value of this pool goes from 5,900 to 5,500, well, that's almost $500 less, but I've earned almost $600 in fees. So the fees offset the price going down. But with PNet, the volume has died down. And so it's not worth the risk. Oh, I actually don't even have PNet on here. I think I chose to do PNet on my 100K challenge. Yeah, of course, I chose the coin out of all of these that is doing the least well for my challenge wallet. It's earning 28%, which is, or 56%, sorry, which is pretty good, but it is on the lower side. We're earning a little bit. So we'll look for PNet to move up and then maybe get out of it and rotate it into something else. Mana's doing okay. ZB is the one that's doing really well. It does look like it's just testing this line here. It didn't quite break out enough for us to consider it a breakout and came back down, but it could always break out on the next swing up. So we'll continue to watch it. The big thing here is that we got in down here. So anything that's ranging higher, so you can see here it ranged lower and then it broke back up. So now we're looking for it to range higher and we'll keep holding it. And then again, if it does do a big breakout at some point, we'll close out of it. But we'll look for it to now range at a higher range than it was before because of this breakout. So let's swap back to our big wallet here and we'll keep answering some questions. Can you do a refresher on how you gauge volume before entering a pool? Is there a set amount? Yeah, so I've kind of been talking about that as well. Richard Gregory, thanks for asking the question. But basically anything that's a low cap, meaning anything that's between like 2 and like 12 million, 2 and 15 million, anything like that, you're going to want to see on the 1 hour at least 500K, if not a million. I prefer a million on the 1 hour, but close to 500K. And then on the 5 minute, it doesn't matter as much, but you will want to see this at least at like 30, 40, 50K or higher on the 5 minute. The 1 hour, again, we'll want to see a minimum of 500K on low caps, but preferably a million or more. And then when you're looking at mid caps, like this one is 16 mil, I want to see it at the very least a million here on the 1 hour. And I prefer it to be higher than a mil, but mil is probably the lowest that I'm looking for. And then when you're looking at like much larger caps, like ALK, it just depends on the competition. But again, I like to see close to a million on the 1 hour and higher. The reason why it's a little different on high caps is because high cap, the risk is less. And so I'm okay with the volume not being as much because my goal with the higher caps is more of a stable approach anyway. I'll be happy with 3, 4, 5, 6% a day on some of these higher caps. So I don't need as much volume. On a mid cap, it's a decent amount of risk. So I need a decent amount of volume. And then on the low caps, I need a lot of volume. It's more risky. So it just kind of depends on what's going on, what we're looking at. But yeah, good question. Good question. I forgot to put it up, but that's there. ARC has a ton of volume. Yeah, let's get back into ARC here. So it looks like it is trying to break above the point in which we're looking at getting into it. We're kind of short on liquidity right now. What we might end up doing for PNet on our challenge wallet is swapping back over to ARC, because PNet's not really doing a lot for us. We're down a little bit, but not anything significant. Like we're maybe down like a 50 or 80 bucks or something like that on total. I think this was closer to like 1800 instead of 1700, but we also is our pool connected here? Why is it showing all these random coins? What are we in? We're in PNet. Let me refresh Radium, see if it works. Yeah, it's showing on here. Let's just see if it goes through on Jupiter. We'll swap this into ARC. It does look like ZB is moving up again. I can see it on the price up here at the top. I don't always like to manage this many coins as well. Just because it's hard to keep up with all of them, especially across multiple wallets. We're going to get out of PNet for now. The volume on PNet has dropped down a lot. You can see it's continuing to dribble. So that's why we're going to go ahead and close out of that one. We are out of it. We swapped out of it on here. And then I think we're going to get into ARC. Let me just double check here. Yeah, it looks like it's a good time to get into ARC. So we'll go ahead and get into ARC here. Oops, I didn't click on it. Yeah, we'll do about 3.5 SOL worth of ARC, and then we'll do a two-sided spot pool. ZB is still testing, breaking out, but it's still looking pretty good. You can see here. Yeah. So I would call this a breakout here. It does look like it broke above, which is good. So it's probably going to continue up here. It is just a little bit above, and so sometimes that little amount won't actually be enough. So we'll continue to watch it and see. But it does look like it's still continuing in an uptrend. So obviously we got in down here. So we can just sit and wait and we'll earn fees this whole time. We actually like that it's sitting sideways. If it creates a new range that's higher up here that it continues in, that's a really good sign for us. So we'll keep watching that. Let me set up we're on our challenge wallet now, this to go through. Yep. So we're going to set up an ARC pool. ARC's got really good volume. You can see here it's moving up nicely. On the 1 hour and 5 minute, yeah, the 5 minutes over 100K, the 1 hour is over 2 mil. So that's a really good volume for us. We're going to set up ARC. We'll do 100 bin, 1%. That looks good. It's got tons of volume, and there's not a ton of competition in ARC right now. So this is actually this is like an ideal coin to DLMM. Now we'll see if the chart changes and what that looks like, but this is definitely a good sign for this coin. We actually the split on this, we didn't do quite right. So we'll just have 0.1 SOL left over in the wallet. And so we'll also have a little bit of ARC left over, which is fine. It does look like it dipped back down here. So let's see, let me draw a trend line. This is where we got in at right here. Oops. So people can see that. But what I look for is I look for it to break out above its previous high and start to create an uptrend. So even though it dipped down right whenever we got in, that's okay, because I think it's going to keep trending back up. That's the goal. When it breaks above a resistance, sometimes it rips out, and other times it will dip back down a little bit before it breaks back out, right? And so it looks like that might be what it's doing here. But even if it came down here and then came back up, that's fine, because it's breaking out above here shows that it's in an upward trend. And an upward trend doesn't mean always up. It just means that as it's moving up and down, it'll continue to go up overall. So like this one here, which is ZB, is looking really nice as well. Mana is also looking really good. Mana is broken out above its previous high after dipping back down. So also doing really well. So overall, all of our pools are looking really strong. Does look like Graphane might break out again as well, but I only have so much money to move around on all this. I'm going to get out of Luigi because it's not moving up quick enough. And we'll continue to watch some of these other ones. Alk, Magic Eden's just dribbling around right now. So we'll check back into it in a little while as well if it picks back up. But the main ones we're focused on right now are ARC, ZB, Mana, and just those three. Yeah. So we're in the ARC pool on our 10K challenge wallet. And we'll check back into it in just a little bit, go back to our main wallet and check out what's going on here. And I'll see if I can answer some more questions. Do you prefer Deck Screener over GM Good Night? I haven't used GN, so I'm actually not very sure. Good Morning, Good Night might be better. Is it free to use, Satos? If so, let me know, and I might go check it out. Where can I learn about bins? I'm a very beginner. All right, let's talk about the bins. So the bin step, if you think of like steps on stairs, right? You think about, okay, it's stepping up, it's moving in increments. That's what the bin step is. The actual bins are down here. The max a pool can have in it is 69 bins, which you see if I go to set this up, it says 69. If I reduce the range on the pool, you can see it dips down. It's now only doing 48 bins. If you end up doing anything outside of this, like let's say I did negative 40 here, and then I did positive 60 here, you can see the number of bins goes up. And also what will happen is instead of one pool, it says sold needed to create 2 positions. So normally I won't add anything above what the default range is. I'll either do the default 69 bins or I'll do less. But the bins themselves are these individual lines here. And they're basically the simple version of it without getting too complex is that they're little miniature liquidity pools. So this whole thing is a liquidity pool. It's a dynamic liquidity pool, a dynamic liquidity market maker, DLMM. But these are individual ones. And so what happens is they, as they get filled, you'll see them getting filled. So you can see this one here. You can see that this one is partially filled. And as it moves up and down, they'll fill and they'll move. And so basically the way that the dynamic liquidity market maker has worked is instead of having all of it spread across one big pool, they have a bunch of little ones, which makes it more efficient and reduces slippage so that there's no issue with slippage. And so that's essentially what a bin is. The bin step is basically telling you how many steps or what percent needs to move before the bin will move and be filled. And so 100 bin is roughly 1%, I think. Honestly, can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's 1%. And so every time the price moves 1%, it'll fill one of these full bins. If it moves 0.5%, it'll only fill half the bin, and so on and so forth. It does look like ZB dipped back down close to where the middle of our range is, which is, again, perfectly fine. We'll continue to watch it range. We would like it to just range higher here before maybe breaking out again because we're earning really, really good fees on it. We're just going to keep holding. The volume still looks like it's really good. It's 1 million or more. And so even though it's dipping here, we'll continue to hold it and look for it to break back up. If it breaks back down below one of these ranges down here, then we'll get out again. We could sell it here and obviously just take the profit. But I do like it. It is looking good. The volume's looking good overall, the narrative on it. And so I think we'll continue to hold it to see how well it does. At some point, though, if it gets back to coming down here and coming back up, we'll look to get out of it on the high side and just move on from it from there. ARC did break above this resistance. It's come down and looks like it's continued kind of to fight here. So we'll look for it to break back up. And Mana as well. This is where we got in at, and it broke back up and is continuing to rise here. So we'll just keep holding this and watching it as it ranges higher and higher. We're still watching ALK to wait for it to break back up. It does look like it's starting to create an uptrend, so that's a good sign. But we'll continue to watch it and see what it does. That line goes there. All right, let's answer some more questions. I'm still new to this DLMMing thing, learning a lot from you, from your YouTube videos. Hey, John of all trades, thanks, man. Glad you're here. We are over 1,000 views now between both YouTube and Twitter. Thank y'all so much for being here. I know some of you have heard this already, but I do stream Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday every single week. We live DLMM just like this, try to get out as much educational content as possible. The goal is not to do these so that you can copy and trade me. I don't want to just help you make money one time. I want to teach you how to make money over long term using DeFi products like DLMM on Meteora. And so, yeah, just hopefully you're learning something from this and you'll keep checking out our streams. I do appreciate y'all support, and the fact that y'all are here spending your time watching me is pretty cool. Thank y'all. Which pool are you in? I showed some of my pools. You can see these are the ones I'm in, and these are the bin steps and the percent fees on them. Keep grinding. Thanks. Do you know if you earn MET points through Hawkfi? Yes, you do. I'll talk about Hawkfi in just a little bit. I do have a Sol USDC pool set up on it. And I'll talk about this in just a little bit, but you earn both their Hawk token, you farm it, which they'll be releasing, I think probably similar time to Met, maybe. I'm not positive, but maybe in Q1, I can get more info on that for y'all. And you also farm Met points at the same time. So you do both. Can you explain how you check the tokens before DLMMing them? Alex Fi, yeah. So hopefully y'all have learned a little bit about how I do that when I look at the volume here. I'm looking at like the 1 hour or the 5 minute on the trending on Deck Screener. I'll look through this. I'll also look at our Discord, and if people start talking about it, then I'll look at it as well. I like to look at the total volume, so we'll look at this coin. Somebody mentioned this one earlier, and I talked about not wanting to get into a coin that was too low market cap. It's obviously moving up from here. The volume on it's pretty decent, so we'll continue to watch it. It's probably pretty risky. But what I'll do is I'll look at the audit here. I'll make sure it's not mintable or freezable. We'll then take a look at the Twitter. We want to see kind of what they're talking about, what they're doing. We want to look at the bubble maps. We want to see kind of what's going on here. And so we kind of try to gauge as best as possible. We're looking at low cap meme coins. So when you're looking at those, it's always very risky. Even if the bubble maps look good, the Twitter's active, a bunch of that stuff, you can still get rugged. So just know that. Always be careful. Try not to put too much of your portfolio into these low caps. Yeah, I mean, I don't like looking at stuff like that anyway, personally. And so I won't be DLMMing this one just based off of morals and stuff alone. I personally don't look at things like that. That's just me. Can't say what you should or shouldn't do, but I won't be interested in that coin because of that. But overall, you could look at the coin, see how active it is on Twitter, and then go from there. So can you do for me price? Yeah, I'll talk about Magic Eden a little bit. I think what we saw it do here was pretty crazy to see it pump up this much. I do think that we'll continue to see it kind of dribble around the price that it's at, maybe come all the way down to $4 or $4.50 before it breaks back up, or it could just stay right around where it is, around the $5 mark, and then start to make its way back up, similar to what it did here. I think we'll see something very similar where it came all the way down to $4.26. And I just don't think we'll see a spike like this. I think we'll see it kind of move around a bunch. But I think within a week, we see it hit $10 again. That's just my personal thoughts on that. We're watching ZB break off and bounce back up there, so that's good. Nothing about Cappy. The team looks good. Just know, like, if I look at a coin on here, I'm happy to look at one. But if I look at it and it just has no volume, like, this isn't really the place to, like, show your coin. If you're interested in me looking at it to actually look at it to DLMM, then I'm happy to. But depending on the volume and stuff and what that looks like, then I may just move on from it. So this has no volume, so it's not one that I'm interested in DLMMing. Where do you see the market cap if the chart is on price rather than market cap? All these coins that come out of like Pump Fund and stuff like that, you can see the market cap over here on the right. But also they all have 1 billion supply. So if the price is 0.019, it's a 19 million market cap. If the price is 0.025, then it's a 25 million market cap. So I just know that from looking at coins over time. Where do you see? Okay, first five people to hit me up, I'll do a special discount for you. Please don't promote things yourself, or I'll have to remove you from here. Can you explain the bin step fee, how you choose and why? Yeah, Torto Joe, thanks for asking. So a lot of times what I look at, it's pretty simple. So like when I looked at ARC here, all I did was I opened it up. I want to look at a pool. Like if it's like around the bin step and range I'm looking for, then a lot of times I'll just look for one that has a high amount of liquidity or a decent amount of liquidity that's doing really, really good volume like this. And you can see that in the 24-hour fee over here. Now, one like this down here that has very little TVL and high volume that says like 166%, or like this one that says 3.6, these are not accurate. Someone probably had more in here and then removed it, and that's why it looks like this. So these you kind of have to filter out. But ones that have a decent amount like this and they're doing really well and show here, that's ones that I'm interested in. And so usually I'll pick one of the top pools, especially if the token's been around a while. So it just kind of depends, but usually that's the case. And then depending on the range. So if it's a small cap coin, usually I want to do a 200 bin step or higher, unless I think it's going to stay around the range that it's at. Like with ZB, I did 100 bin because it looked like it had some good sideways action. If I thought that this was going to continue to break up pretty fast, I would probably do a 200 bin because it's a lower cap. But on mid caps or higher, I'll do anything between 100 to 200 bins. And then once you get to like really high caps, like a couple 100 million or more, I'm usually max doing 100 bin, but sometimes I'll do anywhere between like 20 and 100 bins because it's a tighter range. Overall, it's a percentage based thing. So 100 bin on a 500 million market cap and 100 bin on a 2.5 million market cap. This 100 bin will only move up, between like 2 or 1.5 and 3.5 million. That'll be the range. Whereas on like a 500 million market cap, 100 bin might go like 600 to 400 million, right? This is just an estimate, obviously, but it's a much wider range. So you can do tighter ranges on higher market caps and still do well on them. Also, higher market caps usually have less volume and more competition. So you need to do a tighter range anyway to be able to capitalize on the fees. Can you get me your referral for that website? For which website? Hawkfi? I don't have a referral yet, but I should be getting one soon. Because they said they're going to be releasing referrals. But whenever they do, I'll happily give that out. I would love for y'all to be able to support me in that way. How does single-sided DLMM actually work? Hey, great question, Wim. Thanks for being here. Welcome to the stream. The way that single side works, so there's multiple things that you can do with a single side pool. Just so y'all know, I'm continuing to watch these. ZB is still moving sideways really good. Same thing with ARC. Graphane does look like it's moving up and breaking out. So I can't get into this one, unfortunately, because I don't have enough liquidity. I could move something else into it. Let me see what I have. Yeah, I don't have enough liquidity there. I would need to get out of something maybe like, I don't know, Mana's doing well. ZB's doing well. ARC's doing well. But Graphane does look like a good option as well. It's a higher market cap. The volume's not quite as high in comparison to these other ones. So I'll just stick off of it for now, but just know that it is doing pretty well. So when we look at it, let's look at Mana, for instance. A one-sided. So first of all, just in general with the pool, right? So you have two sides to this pool, but it's made up of two one-sideds, right? And so I could actually add in two one-sideds or just do one two-sided pool like this. And so the lower side is going to be your second token, which in this instance is Solana. And the upper side is going to be the meme coin or whatever altcoin you're using, which will be, in this instance, Mana. And so you can see here that as this token moves up, this initially started in the middle here because that's how I set it up. And so you can see these bins used to be purple and they used to have Mana in them. And so as it moves up, the Mana is sold into Solana. And so now I have more Solana than I do Mana. And so what's happening is I'm essentially DCAing, dollar cost averaging, or exiting out of the token. And so if I wanted to sell Mana, I could actually just set up a one-sided pool like this. And I can either do like a bid ask or a spot strategy. And I could set up a one-sided pool. And as the price of Mana goes up, I'd be selling out of it. And so instead of me selling out of it, DCAing out of it, like if you were to come to Jupiter here and DCA out, you can do the same thing here with Mana. The problem is you can see down here, the platform fee is 0.1%. There's also an estimated price impact order of 2.28%. So you can DCA out of it on something like Jupiter, another site, but you're going to be paying fees to do that. If you do it on Meteora, you're going to be earning fees as you DCA out of it. And so Meteora is great for this. Also, if you want to DCA into a token, meaning you want to buy into it, you would do the opposite. You would do a one-sided pool like this on the way down. You would set up like a bid ask or a spot strategy. And as it moves down, you'll end up buying more of the token, entering into the token, basically buying it with Solana. And instead of buying the token and paying fees, you're now buying the token and earning fees along the way. At some point, you can close it out and then you have the token. You could set up a two-sided, or you could just leave the one-sided up. And as it ranges around, you'll just earn fees the whole time. So you kind of have to choose what you want to do based on that. But that's kind of the idea of the one-sided. You can use it to DCA in or out of a token. You could also set it up just to earn fees and enter into a pool temporarily. And then as it moves back out of range, you've earned fees and you still have the money that you started with left over. So there's a lot of different options. It's very complex, but that's the gist of it. ZB, Mana, ARC, all doing good. Huge buy here on ARC, and it does look like it got eaten up a bit, but it is starting to move back up, so that's good. I can draw this line here now. There's like multiple little supports that it's made as it's continuing to try to fight back up here. Mana is starting to break back down, but still looking pretty good. And ZB as well, continuing to range higher here. We'll look for it to break out above this line and continue up, or maybe come back down. Either way, we're going to keep it as long as it's moving sideways and doing well there. We'll look at some of these pools. You can see my Mana pool is doing really well. It's earning 77%, which on this $5,600 is around $110. And we've only had it open for maybe 20, 30 minutes or something like that. So really good. ZB is doing way more. We'll take a look at it as well. We're up to 270. It looks like it's dipping a little bit, so maybe averaging out a little bit lower, but between 250 and 270%, which is crazy. We are up a lot on it. It's actually coming back down a little bit, so we're pretty close to even, but we have around $6,300, and we've earned almost $800 in just fees. We've maybe had it open about 30 minutes, so pretty crazy numbers here. We'll continue to watch it. We'll look for it to break back up, but you can see we're getting pretty close to where we started at, our starting price, as it dips back down, which is totally fine. We'd like it to bounce off this and come back up, though. And then the other one, we showed Mana, we showed ZB, and Me is doing pretty well also, earning just a few percent. Our Croak as well in that case. So, yeah. Let's see. Hasbullah, been loving these streams. Hey, thanks. Glad you're here. Be careful with this Captain Noob guy. This might be a scam. There's no fee printers, website, product. Yeah, just as always, I'm not saying that you're a scam or anything. Just as always, you should be careful with accepting anything, clicking on links, connecting your wallet, do anything like that. So just be careful if you do see anything like that. I'm not saying that's this case, but anyway, do you claim fees in the middle of the session, such as with ZB? Would you collect in the middle or you wait till the end? It just depends, Jesse. So like if I'm getting in and out of a token, a lot of times I'll just wait because there's no point in me really claiming it and adding it back in if I'm just going to close out of it in a few minutes from now. And I am looking at closing out ZB soon. It's doing really, really well. But with a low cap coin like this, it could always like dump out of nowhere or something could happen. And so I try not to stay in coins like this too long. And so if I think at some point that I want to get out of it because it breaks down too low or because it's just hitting a good high, then I'll go ahead and close it out. So I'm really not too worried about it. If I'm sitting on a coin much longer, like with Magic Eden or maybe with ARK, which ARK is breaking out here, so that's a really good sign. Then at some point, if I think I'm going to continue to hold it for like an hour or longer, then I will rotate the fees back in. I'll go in and claim the fees like this, and I'll just add them back into the pool and continue to compound them over time. Obviously, you don't want to claim your fees if you only have like a few bucks, because when you claim, you do pay a transaction fee. And so you don't want to claim all that often, but you should claim at least once a day. If you have enough funds to do that, if not multiple times, depending on what you're doing. Yep, ZB does look to be trying to resist and break back up here. ARK's breaking out really, really well. If it breaks above this line, or even there's kind of two resistances here, these two. If it breaks above this here, I think we'll continue to see it move up, which will be nice. Graphane is also still moving up if you're interested in that one. It's just we don't have the liquidity to get into it right now. Mana volume is still looking pretty solid as well, so we'll keep watching that. Yeah, we're up to 1,153 views now. Thank y'all so much for being here. Luigi is free. Let's take a look at Luigi again. We'll look at it again. We looked at it a little bit later. I think Luigi could be good overall. One thing about Luigi is that it's like a big mainstream thing being talked about right now. So I think it'll stay somewhat relevant. Whether it dips down pretty hard before coming back up, I'm not sure. Like you can see here, it's doing. But I do think it stays somewhat relevant. To what price point, I'm not sure. But because of obviously him being really big on the news and stuff like that. So I'm just not sure if it's something that I'd want to have long-term. So we'll keep watching it and see. By the way, when adding liquidity, Alex Fi is asking, the price pumps a bit or does not affect to the price of a coin. So when you add liquidity on an active pool, you're adding it in at the price that it's at. So when you add in liquidity here, you're going to, wherever it is, so it's right here, you're going to add in the equivalent percentage of SOL to ZB token here. And so if you add it in, that's how it's going to be added in at this percentage. If you wanted to add it in at a different position, at a different percentage, you would just need to add a new position. Do the live streams get recorded and saved in some place? Yeah, I'm streaming to YouTube as well right now. So on my X account, you can go to my profile. My YouTube page is there, and you can go and look at them directly on YouTube under my lives. Yeah, they disappear from my X account. I could post them back to my X account, which I probably should do, but I haven't so far. They just are on my YouTube. Are the 100 bins a bit safer? Loves, it depends on the market cap. If you're looking for something a lot safer that'll earn a little bit less in fees but be safer, you'll probably want to look at like a 200 or 250 bin. If you're really low market cap, you may even go to 400 bins, which is pretty big. But a 200 bin or 250 would be much safer. Met points are trading at point. Let's do the math on that. Met points are trading at 0.00182. And how much volume is one Met point? I forget. Is it $1 per Met point? So like if you have like 300K in volume, would that be 300K points, or is it more or less than that? Let me know. 0.00182 is the conversion. Can you please explain how the fees calculation happened? Fees is calculated buy, sell only. Okay, yeah, that's a great question. So you can see ZB is breaking back down here pretty aggressive. And so if it breaks below this line here, I just want to update y'all on it. If it breaks below this line here, I'll probably end up closing out. I could let it go a little lower. Let me just watch this real quick before I answer any more questions. Yeah, where it's at now, I think if it breaks below, yeah, Mana's doing okay. We're watching a few of these. That's doing good. Okay. So ZB, this is why with low caps, you have to be careful, right? Because at some point, this could just drop all the way, which is why I don't like staying in them too long. So this is what I do. Normally, if this is the case, I'm not going to sell it right now. But what I'll do is I'll close out of this pool, and then I'll watch it. And because as it's gone down, I've bought more ZB. If this does end up bouncing back up, I've bought on the way down, and I'll end up just selling it for more than what I got in at. And so I'll do that. But I also don't want to have to wait. Sometimes closing out of a pool takes longer. So instead of waiting for it to close out and then coming over here and trying to sell it, what I'll do is I'll set up to sell it like this after closing out of the pool. And then that way I'm ready that if it does break down below this line, I'm ready to sell it. And if I need to, I could always get back into it. But we'll continue to watch that closely. By the way, when I knew the price point, okay. Yeah, I answered that question. Can you please explain how was the fees calculated? Oh yeah, so I want to explain that. Does it does look like it's bouncing back up here? ZB is, so that's a good sign. We'll look for it to move up a little more, and then we'll close out of it. So the way that the fees work, you can actually click specifically on a pool. So let's click on Mana here. You can actually look at the pool chart over here, and you can click on Deck Screener and open it up. And it'll actually show the buys and sells going through your specific pool. So when someone goes on like Jupiter and buys and sells something, you'll see down here, like it'll talk about routing it. See how it says via Radium and Meteora DLMM? So this is actually moving through a DLMM. And so as it does that, it's going through one of the pools, right? And so it potentially will go through your pool if the price is good and the liquidity there is provided. And so when it does that, you can see here, this is the Mana pool. And so these buys and sells happening are directly going through our pool. And so as that's happening, people are paying this 1% fee over here on the left. And actually, it's a dynamic fee because the volume's high. It's actually at 2.68% is what people are paying. If the volume dies down, then this will go back down to 1%. People are paying that to swap between the two tokens that we're providing. So we're providing Mana and Soul. And so as people are trading between them, we're earning fees. And so that's how you earn the fees based on when people are buying and selling. Hopefully that makes sense. Looking for good poor people now. Can you explain the bin step fee, how you choose the pool? Yeah, explain that a little bit. Hopefully you got that a little bit earlier. Also, Captain New, if you would just stop spamming about the NFT. I know that you're trying to sell them, but this is not the place to do that. Even if you're legit about it, just please don't spam that here. I appreciate it. Hey, Token, do you reinvest your fees? Yeah, explain that a little bit. I do if I'm going to hold the pool longer. If I'm getting out of the pool, then I won't. We'll see what ZB does here. Is it best to do DLMMing at a 1 minute time frame? I think so personally. I like to see all the little micro things happening because it gives me an idea of what's going to happen next. It kind of lets me gauge what the token's doing. So I like to do it on a 1 minute time frame. If I'm looking at a larger coin like Graphane or something, sometimes I'll do it on the 5 minute. It's just I have it on 1 minute because that's just the default that I have it on right now. ARK's doing really, really well still. Our 100K wallet, I haven't gone back and looked at it, but this is continuing to do really well. So I know that that wallet is doing well on it. We're going to continue to watch ZB. We want to continue to see it break back up here. We may just sell out of it soon if it looks like it's going to resist and come back down. So we'll see. Asti, I'll answer this question in just a second. So at this point, ZB does look to be breaking back up. We'll wait. If it continues to show some green here, the volume is still decent, but you can see the volume is dropping down some. And so we want to be careful here. Basically, I'm going to let this ride up as far as it rides. And if it looks like it's going to break back down, then we'll just go ahead and sell. If it comes all the way back up here, we'll be doing really, really well because we made a lot on fees and the overall TVL will be worth more than what we got in at. Because even though we got in at this yellow line over here, whenever this came down, we closed out of it here. So we were buying it lower. And so everything below this green, we bought lower. And so the value of it has actually gone up as this goes back up. And so we'll see what it looks like. If this closes out here, we'll just sell it. If this gets eaten up, then we'll continue to watch it and go from there. Hey, I'm wondering why sometimes my total liquidity is about 0.2 SOL lower than the initial, even if the pool price is good. Asti, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can you explain a little more? I'm wondering why sometimes my total liquidity is $50 lower than even if the pool price is good. Oh, you're saying when you enter, it's lower. I'm honestly, the only thing that I can imagine is that you're paying $50 seems like too much. You pay like a rent fee when you open up a pool, but that's like $5, not $50. Could you give me an example of that maybe? Like, do you have like a picture or anything? You can post it in Discord or send it to me on Twitter. I can answer that in the DMs if you just want to send it to me because I'm not too sure what you mean. Joseph, sorry if I asked, but when you go to enter a pool for the first time, would you put all your money you intend to invest or put in a little at first to initiate the pool? Thought I read somewhere about entering a little first to avoid being arbed. So you don't have to worry about being arbed if you look at this right here. So your liquidity, you can see the current price is set up and it's you don't need to worry about being arbed because it's like this. Now, if I go to this ARK pool and I open one up that hasn't been messed with in a while, like this one down here, the price will probably be off on it. Let's see if it'll work. Yeah, so see this here? The pool price is 5% different from the estimated price. Adding liquidity may occur in a loss. So in this instance, you would just put in like a few dollars and let it arb those few dollars and get back to even, and then you can add in more. But if the pool is already balanced, then you don't need to worry about being arbed. It'll actually tell you. If that's the case, you can also sync it back up by clicking the sync button next to it right here. But this one's fine. So like if it looks like this, then you don't need to worry about being arbed. Mana is dipping back down here. We'll look for it to bounce off of here. If it breaks lower than that, we'll sell it and get out, but we'll look for it to bounce back up there. ARK's doing well. We'll continue to watch it. Also, ZB has continued to break back up. So this is great. We closed out of our pool down here, and the value has just shot up a bunch. So we'll continue to watch and see if it does that, and if so, then we'll sell out of it. We'll continue to watch Luigi on the back burner here. Graphane's still looking pretty decent as well, but not getting into it. Yeah, as long as ARK continues to do well, we'll hold that one also. Let's go ahead and we want to keep watching ZB, but let's switch over to our 100K wallet. I'll continue to answer some questions. But I want to make sure that I'm watching some of this. I actually swap back to my main wallet. I think we're just going to, let's see if ZB goes back up here. But I think we're just going to sell out of ZB at this point. We're at a decent spot, probably pretty close to break even on our total TVL entered because of us closing out here and letting it build back up some. But we've earned a lot in fees. So I want to see if this gets eaten back up just a little bit. And if it does, then we'll potentially sell out here. All right, we're just going to sell. We're not worried about if it comes back up or down or what it does from here. We're just going to take the profit that we've gained and move on from ZB. It's been a really solid one for us. So sometimes it's good to be a little patient, but you don't want to be over patient, just hoping for it to do something. You don't want to get greedy. Just take advantage of the profits that you get and move on from it. Man, Jupe is struggling, huh? Come on, man. Jupiter like picks up on the token quicker, but for some reason when I try to trade it, sometimes it takes a while. Whereas Radium will not like pick up on the token that I have in my wallet. It just shows me a bunch of random tokens. And when I try to look it up, it like doesn't show it right. But the actual transaction will go through, which this is dipping now. And so this is the only thing that sucks about trying to sell. I literally have a ridiculous high fee price too. Did it go through? Transaction exceeded, blah, blah, blah. Let's try to do it again. I have like a really high transaction fee and I'm using like the ultra fast everything to make sure that it goes through. Confirm transaction. All right, we're out of ZB. We'll go ahead and close out of it. If it comes back up or does something else, great, but we're happy with where we are on it. So we have ARC, we have Mana. Let's see. And we'll continue there. Let me answer some more questions. Would you put in all the money you intend to invest or put in a little first to initiate? Oh, yeah, I told you about that. Did you look at Mana? Yep. Which amount do you consider high, mid cap, low caps? How many millions of market cap? So 2 million to like 12 million is low cap. Anything like 15 all the way up to like 50 mil is mid cap. Really even up to like almost 100 mil. Once it starts getting above like 80 mil, 100 mil, then that would be considered a hard cap. 8.pro, I should check that out. I do need to check that out. I've heard some good stuff about it, as well as good morning, good night. I'll look at it a little bit more. It's free. Check Oath. Sushi called it. Well, if Sushi called it, then I want to check it out. But unfortunately, you sent that 25 minutes ago. Jeez, I'm way behind on these questions. Let me pull it up in the Discord. Yeah, I'm answering so much I haven't been able to look at it. Let's see here. Let's see if it's still a good entry to get into it. Try not to have too many tabs open at one time. We are going to do the giveaway shortly. We're not going to try to be on for too much longer, so we're going to look to try to get out of some of these pools on the high side. Good morning, good night. It's not showing anything right now. It does look like Oath has dipped down a little bit, so we'll watch it and see. Mana's at a good spot, breaking back up here. So we'll continue to watch it. ARC's really good. ARC is continuing on an upswing here, or trending up even after its dips. It's continuing to have higher highs and higher lows than previous, so that's a good sign. Mana's at a good spot. Let's see here. Mana. Yeah, we're earning a decent amount on Mana. We'll continue to hold it because it is pretty close to our entrance price, so we want to see it move up before we sell it. I'm going to click out of Graphane here. ALK is moving up nicely. Want to look for it to break up a little higher, and then we might get back into it. Me is still dribbling back down some there. Let me get back to some of these questions. Let me see if anybody else has any other pools up, any other tokens that they're talking about. Looks like nothing yet. Let me move through some of these questions so we can try to go a little bit faster. Love the stream, learning a lot here. Hey, thanks, Last. Glad you're here. Win giveaway. Giveaway will happen very soon. Like I'm probably going to do it in like 5 or 10 minutes. We're up to 1,250 people online right now watching me. Thank you so much for coming and being here. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We do live DLMMing. We check out tokens. We talk about the market, all that kind of good stuff. I pretty much focus on all things DeFi, but right now the big hit is DLMM. We're farming MET points, which will airdrop hopefully in Q1. It hasn't been announced yet, but that's what we're hoping on. Has Meteora given a TG for MET points? Not yet. Oh, yeah, let's check the Hawkfi 50K position. Let me just see Mana. All right, we're going to be getting off soon. And coins that are not like super high cap, I like to get out of them before I get off. If I can't watch them, I don't want to keep holding them. If it's like a mid or high cap, I'm comfortable with it. A lot of low caps and stuff like that, I'm not. Or just coins that move a lot, like ARC and some of these other ones. Let me actually switch to the 100K. I'm going to get out of the ARC pool as well. It's been earning a really good amount. You'll see this is on my 100K wallet here. 31% is pretty nice. It's on the higher side of where we entered at. We didn't earn a ton of fees because I don't only have 1,600 in here, but we've been earning a pretty high percentage on this, which is good. And the value has gone up a little bit since we entered. So we'll go ahead and get out of that. Let's go ahead and sell the ARC. We just want to get out of all these before we leave. And while I'm doing the giveaway and stuff, I'm not going to be able to watch it. So I want to make sure we do that. So we're selling up ARC there. All right, so that's done. Let's go back to our main wallet. Magic Eden we're going to hold on to and let it cook. So we just need to sell our mana token that we just got out of, which has actually moved up just a little bit since we closed it. So that's good. You can see here, not there, here. It's moving up. So that's nice. It may be good to get into mana right now, but since we're going to be leaving, we're going to go ahead and get out of it. Happy with the profits that we've taken. The key for that like challenge wallet that I'm doing, you'll notice like the numbers aren't as big as like my big wallet, right? But the important thing is just being consistent and compounding over time. I may make $50 or $100 one day. I may make $200 another day, but all of that little amount will add up and start to compound. And after like a week, that $2,000 that I had will start to become $3,000 and $4,000. Then it'll compound from there. So it starts off small and then grows. I try to be safe on it, not do anything overly risky. And so that's important as well. So let's look. I'm going to try to zip through a couple of these questions, and then we're going to check out the Hawkfi position we're on. And then we're going to do the giveaway. 4 people will be able to win $250 each. You need to make sure that you are live on here. If I pull you up and then you don't respond in live, then you will not win. Coin tilt, I was able to compound my fees on ZB right at my entry point and on the dip. Very nice. Is there a way to sharpen focus on your screen? I'm using 1080p HD, so it should be pretty good. I cannot sharpen the focus anymore. I can zoom in a little bit more like this, which should help a little bit. This is the tweet. Let me go to the tweet that you need to be you need to have engaged with. So I'm using the same tweet that I used from the other day. So I'm using this one. Me Day is finally here. $1,000 giveaway on stream, which we did yesterday. One guy got it. Today we're giving away 1,000 as well, but we're going to do 4 people getting 250, and then we'll give away $2,000 tomorrow. We're probably going to do 8 people at 250 or 4 people at 500. I'm not sure yet, but we want to have multiple winners. All you have to do is be following me and like the post. If you're not following me, you can't win. And obviously, if you don't like the post, you can't win. Also, there's a bunch of bot accounts that I think because of the giveaway, they're trying to win. So if I pull you up and it's a bot, then obviously you can't win. Also, you need to be live on this stream. So that'll narrow down a lot of people as well. But this is the one. If you haven't engaged with it, you need to be engaging with this and be on this live stream to be able to win. Yeah, I don't know if Oath is that great. Okay, what were we doing here? If you read T, I'm gonna have to move through some of these questions. The link to Fee Printers Discord, I can do that. It's a free Discord. There is an NFT in it, which I do not promote or affiliated with, but I do promote the free Discord aspect. The community is amazing. Lots of good information. A lot of people active in there. I really enjoy the Discord. I will put the link in here for y'all to be able to go check it out yourself. This is the link. It should show up on both Twitter and YouTube. What age coins do you generally filter out? For instance, something like Eco with volume but no social. Yeah, I mean, if it's super new but there's no social, then I may not mess with it. I look for different red flags like that. If it's a coin that's been out a really long time but it still has good volume, then I'll happily get into it. So. Captain Noom, I'm not a part of the NFT side of the project. That's specifically Mint. He's the one that manages those funds and does that, just so people are aware. I'm a part of the free aspect community doing content and being a part of the free community, which is what I love. $1 in fees is 1,000 points. Okay, so like if I have $300,000 and then I multiply that by 1,000, we're at 300 million points. And then if you do that times 0.00182, That's $546,000. That would be crazy. I think that this is probably too high. But if it's not, then I'm going to be really excited because this is how many points I have. Which would be pretty insane. So I think that number ends up going down, but we'll see. Maybe not. Maybe because not as many people are farming it, we might end up doing really well on it. I am skipping a few questions because I need to move forward with this to be able to do the giveaway, and I need to get off soon. What would you say is the minimum decent amount to set up a pool with? I'd say $50 is probably the minimum because of fees and things like that. You want to have at least $50, if not more. Hawk has set some automation possibilities, but still uses Met pools. Hawk has an 8% fee on your generated fees, has auto compound stop loss. Yeah, I'll show that in just a minute. Are DLMM the only way to accrue profits on Meteor? Or are there other methods? There are other methods. You can just do regular pools, LST pools, multi-token pools here. You'll end up earning a lot less than you do on a DLMM, but there are these different pool options you can look at. Yeah, I'll set up a Photon, Bullx wallet, one of the 8 Pro, one of these. Good morning, good night. I'll set up something. What kind of pools do you usually leave to work overnight for a long period of time? I'll either set something up on Hawkfi, which has the automation, or I'll just do something that's like a mid cap, mid to higher cap coin, like 50 mil or higher, that I think looks pretty solid. Like a lot of times I'll overnight ALK. I overnighted Magic Eden. I'll overnight just different things like that that are like 80, really like 50 or higher, but preferably like 780 mil or higher that I think have more upside than downside. Why not swap in Meteora? It's slower than just swapping directly on Jupe. Giveaway is a bonus, but earning so much info is the main thing. Hey, thanks, Valar. I'm glad you're here and learning. Do you set filters on Deck Screener? No, I just use the 5-minute filter. Where are you getting the conversion rate from points to Met? Also, you can just check your points using the Met leaderboard based on what people told me above. Thanks for teaching, Token. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here and checking us out. We're over 1,360 people viewing now. We've been live for 1 hour and 40 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and show you all the Hawkfi automation, and then we're going to do the giveaway to end the stream. And so this is Hawkfi. It's connected to Meteora pools as well as Orca pools. Okay, so we're going to use the Meteora pools. You can check out both. Hawkfi basically integrates in with Meteora, and it does automation, which is not on Meteora. They do take an 8% fee from the fees that you earn. So like they don't take it from the overall value, but they do take it from the fees. So if you earn $100 in fees and you go to withdraw those fees, you'll earn $92 and they'll take $8. That's part of their fee for using the product and the automation. So yesterday I posted an update on this. It had only been live for a few hours, but this is my update. Obviously the price of SOL has gone up, and so that has increased this as well. So as it goes down, the overall value will go down as well. But you can see here, this is my SOL USDC pool. We entered in with exactly $50,000 yesterday. And so within 24 hours or maybe even a little bit less, we've already earned, you can see 541 fees here plus another 14 here. So we've earned over $550 in fees, and the value of the pool has gone up. So we're up $2,000 right now. Even if the value of SOL hasn't really gone up, we'd still be up $550 in fees in 1 day, which is about 1%. It's showing the average over here on the left is actually 0.64%, but we're earning closer to 1%. And as the price of SOL goes up, this total balance will actually move up quicker than that 1%. And so if we come here and we look, and I have $50,000 and I'm earning 1% a day, after 6 months, if I'm compounding and I'm doing it for 7 days a week and it's auto compounding every day, which Hawkfi is doing that, then my $50,000 in 6 months from now would be some astronomically high. Oh wait, I did years. Sorry. I'm like, why is that so high? 6 months. I was like, that looks way too high. Okay. In 6 months, my $50,000 will be worth $300,000. So you can imagine this is a pretty crazy thing here, right? If I were to earn 1% a day, let's say the market dies down though. Let's say I'm only going to earn 5% a day. Let's say SOL doesn't move up in price. My interest rate doesn't go up a lot. It actually starts to go down, and it's 0.5% and it's over 6 months. My 50,000 will become 123,000 in 6 months, which is still crazy good. And in 1 year, it'll probably be closer to like 500K or $1 million. Or no, 300K. There you go. So it's at 0.5%. My 50K will be 300K in 1 year. And so that's obviously pretty insane. But it shows the power of compounding every single day. If you have trouble compounding yourself, you can do it on here. You can go to Sol USDC. You can go to the 20 bin here, and you can set it up. And you can just manually check it every single day and close out and auto compound the position. You won't pay the 8% fee that you pay on Hawkfi, but you'll have to check it more often. If you don't want to check it every single day, you still probably should check it at least once a day or every few days doing this, depending on what Sol's doing, or at least have some sort of alert on an exchange that tells you if it drops below a certain amount. But if not, you can watch this, just check on it every now and then. It'll auto compound your fees, which is really good because the fees, when they get auto compounded in every hour roughly, or every few hours, depending, that's adding in, and that's all going to auto compound on itself. And then also it reconfigures or auto balances your pool. So if for some reason Sol keeps pumping and it goes above the 233 area here, it'll auto compound. It'll create a new pool for me with the same amount of USDC and Sol, and it'll make it 50-50 again, and then it'll continue to earn fees as it moves up and down. So really, really cool. And we'll continue to do this and update and post on Twitter about how well it's doing. Obviously, the amount of money that I'm saying that I'm getting is minus that 8% that they take, so that would affect this slightly. So instead of 0.5, I'm getting like 1% right now, right? So instead of 1%, I'll be getting 0.92% daily, right? Just to give an example. But over 1 year, that would literally earn me $1 million on 50,000 if I earn the 0.92%. So I'm hoping the volume stays up for a year so that I can do that, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep updating it live so that people do have a good idea of what's going on and how we're doing it. So that is the automation. Is there an auto rebalance function? Read about it. Yes, there is an auto rebalance. Does Hawkfi create new positions? Yes. Met points through Hawk. Yeah. Also, by using Hawkfi, even though you are paying that 8% fee, obviously they're earning money off of that, and then they'll be doing a Hawk drop as well. You also earn Met points. So even it's connected to Meteora, so you'll earn both Met points and Hawk points by using Hawkfi. Will you close and open another range when it's out? It'll automatically do it. You just have to configure it after you make the pool. You do that by going to, let me sign this, and then it'll let me configure it. Yeah, it'll auto do it, or you can do it manually, but it'll auto do it on Hawkfi if you set it up to do that. You just go to configure here. You go to auto rebalance, and then the event one is not available right now, but it will be soon. You can tell it whether you want it to rebalance up and down, or just up or just down. You can look at that right here. You can set it. See, I actually have it set to 57 bins, so it's a slightly tighter range because the default is 69 bins. And so this is a little bit tighter of a range, which is probably why I'm earning 1%, closer to 1% than the 0.64%. And then it's going to be in a spot. So it'll automatically rebalance that for me. All right, I can talk more about this another time. I do need to get off soon, and I want to do this giveaway. So we're going to move over to the giveaway here, and we're going to set it up. Remember that you need to have liked this post here and be following me. This is on my profile. Go check it out now to be able to win. So we're going to pull the first person from here, and you need to be live as well. So please respond in the comments if this is you. Oh, wait, I can just do 4 winners at a time, and then I can filter through them. Let's do that. AZ, your stream is super informative, top tier stuff. Hey, man, thanks. I'm glad it's informative, and y'all are learning something. We're up to over 1,400 people. Awesome. All right, so we're going to check out each of these and see if these are real people. If this is you, go ahead and respond in the chat. And if you are God's Time, Dazaki, Piero de Lopez, or DJ Lietino, let me know. This definitely looks like a real person here. Let's see. Are you here, CryptoKid.algo? CryptoKid.algo, are you here? D Zauki, are you here? We may hit a bunch of bots. So if so, that's part of it. Piero de Lopez. What about Narf? Narf has got to be real. Piero is here. Where's Piero? Reroll till you see my name. Yeah, I am going to do some rerolls. Is Piero here? If you are here, I'm not sure. I don't think I see you. How do y'all know Piero's here? Only one out of the 4 is here. I need them to say something in the live stream. He's in chat. I see him. Yeah, but he might be sitting in chat. He has posted multiple times. Okay, we'll wait on Piero. We'll give him another chance. We'll give him a chance to. Not another chance. We'll give him time to respond. So does D Zauki is not here. Oh, Decentraman, you're Piero? Your account says Decentraman. That's not the same person. He's chatting. Piero spam. Do I not see him for some reason? Piero? Oh, Piero de Lopez. Thank you so much. Thanks for hitting that too. He's got to spam it, dude. There it is, Pierre. Okay, I see you. I'm going to DM you. So, Piero won. I don't see anybody else, so I'll be closing out of theirs, and we'll pull 3 new winners. So we're now doing 3 winners, and here we go again. Drum roll. Sifu Worm won yesterday, which is pretty crazy, so he can't win again. So we'll definitely re-roll that one. We'll take a look at the other 2. This looks like a bot, but we'll give her a chance. Is Min Hung here? Just Danny. Is Just Danny here? I know, how lucky to have your name pulled twice. So Min Hung and Danny, if you don't respond, then I will be pulling it again. All right, we're going again. You need to be live and active to be able to win. We might have to go through like 10 of these things, but we'll make sure real people win, and this will give you all more chances. We are at over 1,500 people. Thank you for watching. We've got Nguyen Blank, Neri 2, and X Marap K. If you were in here, please say something. Nguyen Blake looks like a bot, but if you're here, Nguyen Blake, say something. Neri Soul, this is a real person. Neri, are you here? Deako, this person has messaged me, I think, but are they here now? Neri and Nguyen Blake. Just Danny, you're too late. Sorry. You need to be here live when I call your name. Nguyen Blake, not here. We're moving on. Neri Soul, are you here, Neri? Or Deako, are you here? All right, we're moving on. You got to be here. You got to be live with us. I'm going to end up just creating like a new tweet and having everybody live right now just to go engage with it, I think. Bot picking, bot, it's an AI world. Yeah. All right, so let's do this. This is what we're going to do because I don't feel like sitting here and doing this forever. So we're going to have everybody engage on this, on my live DLMMing Meteora market chat here. So this is the tweet here. Engage with this one. Actually, well, yeah, no, let's do this one. We'll do this one. We'll do the going live in 25 minutes here on X. This is the one. I'm posting it in Twitter. You'll need to be in the Twitter to see it. I just posted it. That's the tweet. Sorry, don't engage in the live one. Do this one right here. We'll do this one. And I'm just going to pull from this one. I'm going to give you all like 1 to 2 minutes and just engage with this one. If you engage with it, then I'll do the X picker here. This will get out of all the bots. I don't want to make a new one because honestly, I don't like posting too much. I probably post enough already. Yeah, just do this one right here. The going live in 25 minutes here on X. I'm going to use this one. So if you're live here, we have over 1,600 people that are watching between YouTube and Twitter. It looks like most of y'all are here on Twitter. Go ahead and engage with this one, and then we're going to give away to 3 more people. I'm going to give y'all about another minute. You need to be following me. There's 3 more winners. It's time before the bots come. I got to give people a little bit of time. So right here, going live in 25 minutes, interact with this one. And if you're here, we're going to do a giveaway. 3 people are going to win $250. All right, you got 30 seconds. Nody Gain, Ben liked it. The Centra Man, love it, bro. All right, 10 seconds. Make sure it's the right tweet. All right, we're picking 3 winners right now. We're still going to confirm you do need to be live here, have engaged with the tweet, and be following me. We got Rockin' Zell, Crypto Jargon BTC, and ES17. If you are here and you're one of these people, this looks like a real person, hopefully. Thorin, Rockin' Zell, are you here? Crypto Jargon, I've seen you before. I know you're probably here. Crypto Jargon, there you are, bro. You win. And S17, I've seen you here as well. You're here as well. Perfect. Crypto Jargon and S17 are here. What about Thorin? Rockin' Zell, are you here? Can anyone confirm that I'm not missing it? Crypto Jargon, I see you. No need to spam anymore. And S17, I see you. Is Rockin' Zell Thorin here? If not, we're going to do one more roll for one more person. Thorin is here. Thorin is here. I'm looking. He needs to respond. If he has responded, please let me know. I don't see it. Thorin, can you respond in the live chat, please? Show me that you're here. Because somebody maybe have it pulled up on their computer, but is like AFK away somewhere, or just like left it up forever, and you know what I mean? Oh, Mimi, sure. I see that Thorin responded before, but he's not responding anymore. All right, Thorin was here for sure because I saw him post just a little bit up there. So we're going to go ahead and give him the win. If for some reason he doesn't respond to this after I do this, then I'll add the 250 onto tomorrow's. I'm going to DM each of you. All right, congratulations to all the people that won. We're going to be streaming tomorrow as well. And what did I click on? I clicked a birthday or something on accident. No, I'm not gifting you premium, sorry. I'm giving you $250. We're going to be doing another giveaway tomorrow on stream. After tomorrow, we won't be doing any more giveaways like this. Our main focus is to look at is to help people with education and entertainment purposes as usual. And so just want to thank y'all all for being here and watching. Super excited. Glad y'all here. We actually have over 1,800 views now, 1,860 views, which is massive. Thank y'all so much for being here. We'll be here as well tomorrow, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Every single week we go live. We'll be doing more DLMMing, talking DeFi, talking Magic Eden, other airdrops, trying to provide as much valuable education as we can. As always, if you want to find out more stuff in the in-between, you can go to Fee Printers Discord. It is free to use, and we give tons of valuable information there. Tons of people talking about new coins and stuff like that that's going on. As always, thank y'all so much for being here, and I hope y'all have an amazing day. See y'all.